Greetings and salutations. I would like to welcome everybody back and some of you for the first time to the Full Sport Press Podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am Jay Ho.
Your boy Big Jeff.
Weezy in the building. Say what's up. We said.
What it do? What's going on? This damn
Comes like back in the couch.
What's happening with y'all boys, man? Y'all good?
We're live, Coach.
Get live.
Show, man. Episode 329. We are again holding ourselves accountable, Jeff, as we unveil 5 players we were 100% wrong about when they left college heading into the NBA.
FSP style.
Always FSP style.
Better damn know. You better damn believe it.
He's on a 3-week streak right there.
I don't know. Let's kick things off, man. Best of the week, Coach Rock. What you got?
Man, my best of the week is shout out to the alma mater, Tennessee State, and Coach Penny, a good friend of the show. One of the top 20 players in the class of 2022, Sky Clark, has announced his final 8, and the great Tennessee State University is among that final 8, which includes other schools like Memphis, Kentucky, Michigan, UCLA, Oregon, and USC. So that is real big for our HBCU to be on the same list as those big-time programs or historically Power 5 programs.
Sure, man. Shout out to Coach P, man. That's a big find for the university and well as his basketball program for sure. Then we got to find a way to get in that top 2. And then we get that number 1 spot, we'll be good for sure.
Right.
Best of the week, yeah.
Best of the week for me was I did not consume not one bit of ice cream this week. Didn't do it.
Great job. Good job.
Do it. But it's the weekend, so week's over.
That's all right. Just don't go too far. Just get you know what I'm saying, just a little bit of ice cream, and then you do good.
Yeah.
Moderation, cuz moderation. What you got?
Man, shout out to the On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast. They do a show called Instant Reactions after the versus battles. And shout out to Instant Reactions this week. So if you got time, just go to the On Deck TV Instagram page and watch the instant reaction from the battle between 2 Chainz and Rick Ross this Wednesday. Good stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Fun time.
Jeff, yeah, he's out there on the ledge. Best of the week for myself. Bring back a little bit of nostalgia 2 weeks in a row. MTV Cribs, man. Old episodes of MTV Cribs are available in their entirety on YouTube. You simply search MTV Vault. They have every episode. Dude, like, I didn't know how cool some of these houses were 2003, 2004. And then how cool I thought some of these people were. And now you don't even know where the hell they are anymore, man. So just to see Bow Wow's MTV Cribs, and he had Lou Will there with him, and it was just to see that just brought back so much nostalgia. Quarantine finds are the best, man. I'm 2 weeks in a row. Def Comedy Jam, then this. Man, look, man, I'm finding them, dog. I am finding them. Let's kick it off with you, Weezy. Worst of the week. What you got?
Worst week for me, the Congress, they didn't come together. Let's just say that. They couldn't mesh this week. And I'm sick of it. I'm going to stop watching that shit. Don't send me no more YouTubes about whatever happens. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't. Ain't that funny, Jeff? Ain't that damn funny?
Yes,
No, I'm not laughing at the situation, sir. I'm laughing at the fact that how you are upset with it. No, the situation is dire for some people. No, but I know people that really, this is really, like, their livelihood is up in arms right now. You know what I'm saying? So, the situation's not funny at all. Just, you're fed up. And that's
yeah. They playing with the church's money. The church money now.
Coach Locke, what you got, man?
Man, seeing Deion Sanders chastising athletes for opting out of not playing in the NFL, man. Come on, Deion. You know, you had your time, you played. I understand you old school, but these guys they're opting out because of their families, man. You can't chastise people for opting out for the safety of their family. You know, I understand that 100%. Now, maybe he's doing this because he's saying he knows that, you know, the money's not always going to be there and some of these players need the money. I hope that's where he was trying to go, but he didn't really elaborate on it. But you can't chastise anybody for protecting their families and their health because the NFL is not really protecting or saying how they're going to protect and keep you safe.
I can dig it, man. Gotta dig that, man. It's different, man. Everybody look at stuff different, man, especially if you're from a different generation. That's a whole nother conversation. Jeff, what you got? Worst of the week?
It's kind of what Locke said, but I'm gonna switch mine a little bit. Change mine to the Bills Mafia. Leave Tre'Davious White alone. Like, look, we need him. Like, if he wants to play, if he wants to take a year off, let him do it. He'd come back and still be one of the best corners in the league when this is over with. Leave him alone. Like, don't mess up. Please don't mess this up. We want him to sign back, have a long, prosperous career in Buffalo. All this is calling him whatever you want to call him for not thinking about not want to play this season. Let that stuff go. Please. We might best right want to have a season anyway.
Hey, Tre'Davious, come on to San Francisco. We'll let you sit this year out with glad.
For sure. We'll take on the whole contract.
The red carpet to come in and tell us you're going to sit out. Come on. Dave Chappelle, come on.
My worst of the week, man. Oh, yeah. So I was talking to one of the homies that's on this here Zoom call and having a conversation with him. Just a regular conversation. Name's Howard. And he's on this call right now. And said, man, be real, man. We were talking about the weekend or whatever the case may be. It's a big weekend for one of our friends. Shout out to him, man. And I said, man, what you what you doing to take care of yourself and things? He's like, oh man, doing this X, Y, and Z in regards to COVID-19. He said, yeah, man, I got like 15 things of Lysol. The big joints is over. And I said, man, you got 15? Yeah, the big ones, Jay. The big ones too. I said, I'm gonna be real, bro. I need one of them. I've been looking for those for like 5-6 months. He said, I said, I'll pay you for it. I said, let me get that. I said, let me get one. I said, one. Get what he told me, Jill. He said, nah. I said, nah. They're a hot commodity. They're a hot commodity, dog. I can't give you one. I can't give you one, dog. I said, Weezy, you can't give me one. You got 15, dog. He's like, they're a hot commodity, Jay. I said, okay, that's worst of the week. That's worst of the week. And it's going to be, listen, I guarantee, if I call Coach Locke tomorrow and he got 15, I ain't bullshit. I'm not bullshit. And I can't compare Locke to you because everybody two totally different people. But if I ask a lot and he had 15 Lysol things, I said, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I need one of them. Coach Locke would only not make me pay for them, he would give me 3 and bring the motherfuckers to me, dog. On me, he would. You are a sick human being, dog. You are
really
sick.
Weezy, do you have a rebuttal to that?
Yeah, he didn't tell the whole truth. The conversation.
What was the line? What was the line?
I have 5. I have 5 bottles of Lysol. 15 to 5 is different. 15-5 is different. He said, "Let me get one." I said, "I don't know about." I did say, "I don't know about that," but he never mentioned the word pay. He never mentioned the word pay for it.
It would change if I paid for it, man.
No, it wouldn't change. I'm just saying you never mentioned that word pay. The way I feel about Mitch McConnell right now, I would have heard the word pay. You never rebutted the word pay.
You're a sick human being. Stat of the week. Shout out to Jose Hustle for this find. The average height of an NBA player in 1985 was 6 feet 7 inches tall. Can anybody tell me the average height of an NBA player in the year 2019-2020?
The average height, I would say 6'7".
6'9".
I'm gonna go with Jeff 6'9", 6'8".
The height is Coach Locke, 6'7". We're talking about 20 years. 30 years. 30 years. We're talking about 30 years of basketball, and the height are exactly the same. The game just evolved. Nothing has changed. Just the game has evolved. Shout out to you, Locke. That was a good guess, big dog.
I try to do what I do, man. I'm on a roll.
Shout out to Jose Hustle for that fine, Weezy.
Shout out to Jose Hustle.
Great time, it's Jose. And make sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, IG, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and of course, the SoundCloud page to catch up on the full archive of past episodes of FSP. How do you do that? Just search Full Sport Press Podcast. When you get through doing that, go check out the On Day TV Hip Hop Podcast with Animal Brown and Spike Lee every Wednesday. Their latest show is up, the Rick Ross versus 2 Chainz versus preview. Did you guys watch the versus between the Biggest Boss and Titty Boy 2 Chainz?
It was easy for you to say. Yeah, 15-5 Ross. Quick work.
11-9 Chainz. 11-9 Chainz. Great battle. 11-9 Chainz.
9, Jeff, you said?
11-9. I can argue 11. If you have it 13-7 to 11-9, either way, I can argue. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I had 13-7.
I like I took Ross to win it. I didn't keep up the score. Ross won it, and but I like the way Chainz approached. He played all his hits. He shot his full clip. He played whatever he had. This is my hit. I'm gonna play it. Mm-hmm. I like the way he approached it. He didn't try to mix and match. He didn't try to finesse it. He played what he had.
Weezy, what do you think about 2 Chainz bringing out the strippers on band?
I love that. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
Masseuse?
Huh?
Jose had his masseuse. He swapped to his.
Oh yeah. Rose said my neck hurt. My neck hurt, man. She came in,
Get right here.
She came to help him out a little bit.
That's how light he was taking that shit. It was easy work, man. Speaking of easy work, Fresher Than Your Average podcast, man. Me and my dog Animal Brown is a self-help fashion podcast directly related to improving everyday fashion. Soon we'll have another FTYA Friday coming up. But in between then, follow the page and check out our prior episodes. Don't forget to wear your kicks, man. Cop responsible. Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Got 10 good wrestling seconds.
All right, man. Let's talk a little money.
Uh-oh.
All right. Earlier this year, we talked about on the show that the WWE made roster cuts, budget cuts, before right after WrestleMania. They cut over 40 people from their roster, 40 wrestlers, referees, people from the backstage, things like that. So you would think with COVID and everything else, the company was in dire straits, right? Well, on the WWE earnings call this week, anybody want to guess how much money the profit margin was for the WWE in this quarter and during the COVID? Anybody?
350 M's.
Close lock. They made $45 million in the COVID-19 after cutting all the people from their roster and having a doom or gloom quarter 2 call. Coming into quarter 3, they made $45 million. Down now, you can factor in they haven't had the travel budget, they haven't had to fly as many people, stuff like that, because everything is in one central location in Florida. But still, like that's a heck of a profit to make after having this projected doom or gloom for this whole rest of the year because you can't travel. But then again, that's why Vince McMahon is a billionaire. He knows how to run a business. So you look at it that way. And if you can, please make sure you check out the 808s and Chair Shots podcast where Neek and I go into detail about how we feel about that. And we also talk about what type of wrestler we would be if we were in wrestling right now. You definitely want to hear Neek's response to that. Hell of a show. So iTunes, SoundCloud. And by the time you hear this, it'll be everywhere else as well.
Oh, man. And don't forget to tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page. On the iTunes page, please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
That the revolution will be podcasted. And before we get started with the first half, Weezy, do you have a yellow box of Cheerios award recipient for the listeners?
I do. This week's award recipient is Oklahoma Representative Sean Roberts.
That's right. Oklahoma State Representative is fed up with athletes kneeling during the national anthem and is threatened to hold the Oklahoma City Thunder to account. Now, State Representative, like Weezy mentioned, Sean Roberts, a Republican, issued a warning to the NBA franchise urging that the team stand for playing the song, which would be the national anthem. And he will lead a charge to strip tax benefits from the organization that it receives from the state. Furthermore, Roberts framed the protest as anti-patriotic and displays disrespect to the American flag and all it stands for, end quote. The lawmaker, who was elected in 2011, also believes that the NBA's support of the stance that players are taking proves the NBA's support to defund the police. Roberts highlighted that the Thunder organization is under contract through the Quality Job Act that receives tax breaks through 2024. That, however, did not deter the team from kneeling as members of the Thunder joined the Utah Jazz, kneeling during the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. Sean Roberts. Kiss my ass, Sean Roberts. Kiss my ass.
Damn right.
Yeah, that's gonna be that might be. We might send that out prime. It's gonna be.
Just got to get to him for sure. Prime been delivering a little late too. Y'all noticed that? It's taking a little while. You gotta talk to your people, dog.
I'm gonna get on. I got a meeting with him in the morning, so we'll figure it out.
I bet you do, dog. You guys ready to get started the first half?
Let's do it.
The first half is underway.
First half, the hottest sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week here at the Full Sport Press Podcast. Before we get started, I am Jay Ho.
Good, Big Jeff.
I'm Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Rock, where can they find you at on social media, my brother?
On IG and Twitter world, it's Lock_the_great. It's THA. Get at me.
What about you, Weezy?
I'm FSP_Weezy on IG, and I'm at How Weezy on Twitter. I'll let me.
There you go. Your name should be Selfish Weezy. Selfish Weezy.
On the roll, man.
Jeff, what you got, man?
I'm Jay Easley 84 across all social media platforms.
There you are. And I'm Jay Hope on Instagram and Twitter, man. Have a conversation with me on Twitter, for sure. Shout out to FSP_cameraman. Let's kick things off in the first half, man, with the NFL. And every year the NFL asks players to submit votes ranking the best of the best in their sport. The annual Top 100 concluded on the NFL Network Wednesday night with the order of the top 10 revealed over episodes. Coming in at number 10 was Weezy's guy, Derrick Henry. Coming in at number 9, Stephon Gilmore. Coming in at 8 was DeAndre Hopkins. Coming in at 7, George Kittle. See what? Coming in at 6 is Christian McCaffrey. Coming in at 5 is Mike Thomas. Coming in at 4, Patrick Mahomes. Coming in at 3, Aaron Donald. Coming in at 2, Russell Wilson. And coming in at number 1 was Lamar Action Jackson. Each of these players certainly have a strong case for being included into the top 10. But who's deserving candidate to be a top 10 player that was left out of that elite group, fellas?
Julio Jones probably going to be. He'd probably be in the top 10, right? He'd probably take Derrick Henry's spot, honestly, if I'm not being biased.
Well, okay. I'll say this. I think number one, I know you didn't ask this, but this threw me off when I first saw it. Patrick Mahomes at 4 was ridiculous. But I'll give you the stuff from the top 10. I think honestly that My guy, Tre'Davious White, should have been in the top 10. I
Oh,
gotta bring him back to Buffalo, baby. Gotta keep him happy. Gotta keep him happy. Gotta keep him happy.
My pick, man, was Chandler Jones. He killed in 2019. He had 19 sacks. He led the league with 8 forced fumbles. Still not getting the respect, not being included in that top 10. Just a record of offensive line. And also Nick Bosa. I think he was a top 10 player in the league last year, dog. He was the missing link that the 49ers needed. I know D4 was there, and he had a good year as well, but I think Bosa helped get that defense to where it is now.
Can't agree more. I think that's a homer pick, but I don't know how you don't put Bosa on that list. Man, he just dominated offensive lineman, and he's a lot of the reason we went to the Super Bowl. You know, we know that defense is what made us stand strong and was the major part of that team. So I don't understand how he didn't make that list. But that was definitely mine too, Bosa for my 49ers for sure.
Now, I was joking with Tre'Davious, of course, but in all honesty, though, with that 10 players, like to me, this is just me personally. I know it's like a cop out, but who would you take off that list though? Like those were, if you think about how it played out, those were the 10 players that influenced the playoffs and the conference championships and the Super Bowl the most. Like, who are you really taking out of that list? To me, again, that's to me. It sounds like a cop out, but to me, who would you really take out though?
Only person I would take out, which you can't take him out, is the only one I could see that he could replace is Russell Wilson because we went to the Super Bowl. That's it.
Woo, coach, no.
That's it. You really can't. Like I agree, Jeff. You can't take nobody out. But if I had to pick somebody out of there, he'd be the only one.
I don't even want to get messy like that. So I'm not gonna speak. I don't. It was a good top 10 list.
And somebody who's jumped out on the ledge this week by himself. I'll let you know you out there by yourself on that.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody else. Who else would you take off? If you like somebody put a gun in your head, so you gotta take somebody off, who you taking off?
Derrick Henry.
No way.
He led the league in rushing, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, Chandler Jones led the league in sacks. You mean tell me he ain't on the list?
You take Derrick Henry from the Titans. Titans win 4 games. No disrespect. No disrespect at all. But you take him off the list, take him off their team. They win 4 games tops.
You asked me what I take off. Taking off Henry.
Who you taking off, Jeff? Gun to your head.
Gun to my head, Gilmore. Just because you still had Brady on the other side. Just because you still had Brady on the other side. That's it. That's it. If I had to take somebody off, it'd be Gilmore. Even though he's the best corner in the league, hands down to me. But still, you still have Brady and Belichick that I can still work some things out with. But
the only thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna swap out Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. And that's a permanent switch. I'm executive truth. All right, this is on switch. No, I'm not even discussing that.
Definitely would do that. But as far as the top 10, man, I think that's spot on to me. All right. Let's keep it in football, guys, but we'll move to Weezy's favorite league.
The XFL.
All right, my guy. All right. So The Rock and an investment group, including his ex-wife, have purchased what remains of the recently bankrupt XFL from Vince McMahon and Alpha Entertainment, making The Rock the only majority owner of a league, and his wife the only female majority owner of a league. Now, The Rock has come out saying that he is looking of a professional sports league, excuse me. The Rock has come out saying he wants to capitalize on the reality TV aspect of the XFL going forward, and also mentioning that they are looking to possibly get the season back rolling next year. Guys, what do you guys think about this?
I think The Rock, I think he has big connections in Hollywood where he could probably get the reality TV part of it going. But I also think from a business standpoint, he probably the only reason he bought this because it was so cheap. It's like a cheap stock. It's almost like too cheap not to buy if you got the money to pay for it. But I just in the back of his mind, I know he's nervous as hell. Like, I'm finna lose $15 million. Because it's going to be hard as hell to get that league back going. Because Vince McMahon said he did everything possible that he could do. And he didn't lose the league. Vince McMahon didn't lose that league because it was run improperly. It was COVID-19. COVID-19 squashed that league. So, I mean, I commend Rock for having the balls to do it. I just, if that pops off for him, he's going to be really, 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 really rich. Really, really rich.
I mean, if you watch the show Ballers, like I think all of us watch Ballers, we've seen this story before, dog. So I think he just made it come to life. And considering the fact that he has Under Armour and he dropped his entire clothing line with that and apparel line, it sold out within days, the entire line. So with Under Armour sinking, it's a sinking ship, dog. They have a strong tie to football at the college and high school level. So in turn, it can only make sense for the company to outfit the league and also have some type of ties to Rock. And he also brings something that Vince McMahon really couldn't do, and that's likability. People just don't like Vince McMahon. I think Rock would be the ultimate owner, former player, understands the game at a high level. I think, people would like that a little bit more. And like Weezy hinted as well, the main thing is the fact that he is marketable. Anything that he touches turns gold, man. So to have him behind anything, you want him to push your product. There's no way that this is going to fail with him behind it.
I agree 100%. Rock being a former player and actually playing in the NFL, he knows the sport. He knows all the things to do and the things not to do. And he has the connections in the sport that can help push it and have it ran the right way. That was the one thing Vince McMahon was missing. Yes, he's an entertainment business guru, but when it comes to the NFL and running things like the NFL to compete with that, he didn't really have his hands in that. I'm sure he paid people to put them in the positions, but it's nothing like having that hands-on experience and knowing what to do and seeing how things run with your own eyes. So like you mentioned, with The Rock being likable, he's going to be able to go out and get some sponsors, some donations that Vince McMahon might have not been able to get. So with that, like Weezy mentioned, COVID is the only reason it didn't succeed, I believe. So once we get through this COVID, who knows when that is, I believe that The Rock will be able to get this up and running and get it done the right way.
For sure.
And then also kind of piggyback off of that, like I agree with what Coach said, but also like Vince had hired football people to be in the front office for this last season, even though it didn't finish. So and then Rocket and his wife has mentioned that they're going to have some of those same people come back because the league was ran well. You just couldn't compete with COVID. So there's that. And then you also have the aspect of, like you said, he's the biggest star that they need. And the shout out to my man D Harris, like he has a point. I don't know if you guys thought about this. He can possibly get those players that are looking to leave college early and turn pro early and get those players that have played 1 or 2 years in the SEC or the ACC that don't want to play that third year of college without making any money. And then you can now go play professional sports for a year or two and go strictly pro, go to the NFL from there and be like a farming system for the NFL. What y'all think about that?
I think it's a great idea. You gotta get some money behind him. I think it's a great idea. But I honestly think that he should probably get like a reality show going for the first 2 years just to get it rolling, then go ahead and put the league out, I think the reality show is that's the buzz. He got enough connections, enough plugs to do that in Hollywood and behind the scenes to get that rolling first, to get people's minds, enthused about it, and then just roll out the real league.
And you got to realize, man, he had a whole show on HBO. So in turn, that reality show is going to be on HBO. Yeah. And companies were reluctant, can attest to this, to put their name with the XFL because it failed the last time. So, man, with Rock, it's something that was a little bit more easier to trust because you know that this guy is full aware of like what happened prior to, and also, man, I think the problem with the XFL, they didn't have a lot of time to do marketing. They didn't do really well with marketing. So I think, and dude, The Rock is the marketer, like perfect person to do marketing.
Well, going from one football league to another football league, the NFL announced that free agent Antonio Brown will still be looking for a team. And if anyone decides to pick him up, they will have to wait till the second half of the season to rely on him. The NFL has suspended Antonio Brown for 8 games. Now, it could be longer depending on the ongoing civil suit he has in Florida. Just depends on how that works out. Now, Antonio Brown, who hasn't played since week 2 of the 2019 season, won't be able to use those games toward the suspension because he was technically cut from the team and he was not on the roster. So is this fair or foul that the NFL is giving Antonio Brown 8 games of suspension?
I think it's fair. I mean, so he needed the sentence because he was basically living in purgatory this whole time, and teams were scared to pick him up. So now at least you know what you got, and you know what you can prepare for, and now your agent or you can get to work to get you a job. So nobody wants to sit out these 8 games, but now you at least know what your sentence is. Now you can get ready to prepare to go back to work.
Yeah, they gave him his time. He know what he got to do, like Jeff said. My only thing is a team's gonna take a chance on him, and for me, I think it's worth the wait now. I think it's worth those 8 games. I really do. Only thing I'm worried about is a team that's already got good chemistry, like a Kansas City or Seattle, that's probably gonna go in with those 8 games, probably only lost maybe 1 to 2 games. Then he's coming in, being like retool the team with him and mess the chemistry up. Or you got another team that's going to be halfway down, barely making the playoffs, and then you put him in the game, and he's going to give them a boost. So it's 2 sides of the sword right there for me.
I mean, AB essentially he forced his way out of 3 different teams, y'all. And I don't think a lot of the teams realize if the risk is worth the reward at this point. He's just 32 years old, still appears to be in top shape. But here's the thing. This is going to help AB. There's no preseason. So in terms of the first 3 or 4 games are going to be preseason games. It's going to be slow. People are going to get injured. But the teams you won't see the real teams until week 5, week 6. That really leaves AB with 2 weeks to just figure out, okay, which team really, really needs me. And I think the team that really, really needs him is the Green Bay Packers. They lost Devin Funchess because he opted out. They don't have another wide receiver. And you have to make Aaron Rodgers feel as if you're looking out for him. And the best interest of him is either getting another wide receiver or a tight end. Antonio Brown is the wide receiver that you need there. Low maintenance in Green Bay. You're going to kill playing with the best quarterback in the league. Hey, man, the sky's the limit for that. The only thing that would kind of worry me are injuries. Say Julio Jones, God forbid, gets injured, or DeAndre Hopkins. It'll be a situation where they would be forced to hire Antonio Brown to take up for the loss of a big injury.
Speaking of injuries, the injuries is what worries me with Antonio Brown because he hasn't played contact football since week 2 of 2019. That's a long time even though the training he's doing, he looks great. We know he's still fast. We know he still can catch the ball. We know he still runs the crisp routes. But his body hasn't really taken any contact since week 2. So I'm just worried about how his body is going to react, getting thrown right back into it after those 8 games. Because like you mentioned, the first few weeks they're going to be getting their groove in, everybody is, because they're not playing preseason games. So when he comes back, everybody's ready to go. Everybody's in mid-season shape. He'll be coming in with none of that. So that's the only thing that worries me about Antonio Brown. And, of course, it's mental. You never know what's going to happen with him, no matter who signs him. He liable to decide he want to shoot a video in the middle of the season, somebody signing him. So who knows?
Yeah, that's true. And one one more thing he got going for him is the players are vouching for him. There's players that the players are vouching for him tough. Like with Des Bryant, wasn't no players really vouching for him. These players are vouching for AB tough. Quarterbacks.
Achilles to go to New Orleans. People wanted him in New Orleans. People were excited about that.
Yeah, but he didn't have no quarterbacks. Where he didn't have Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson vouching for him. Top quarterback.
Before we get started with halftime, let's talk about some hip hop. Hip hop mogul Master P recently revealed that Cole might be training for the league. Cole is J. Cole. Now, Master P, who actually signed 2 separate NBA contracts in the late 90s, was asked by J. Cole what he needed to do to make the jump from music to sports. P told Cole, and I quote, "This is a different time we're in. They're going to pick you apart. You're going to have to be able to hit every shot, and if you don't hit every shot, you are not worthy," end quote. J. Cole might have received his first NBA tryout from the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons tweeted at Cole and said, "Hit us up for that tryout. This is for all the dreamers." Does 35-year-old J. Cole deserve a shot playing in the NBA?
Let me speak real quick on this, and I'll let y'all hip hop heads have it. No, I just don't think it's a word. Yeah, like P said, man, you have to be awesome to get in the NBA, like really, really, really good. And to come in at 35 years old, just say because you want to play, come on, man. Just because you can shoot back in the day, come on. I don't think it's gonna work, but that's just me.
It's a money grab, man. It's an attention grab for the Pistons. It's a money grab for the Pistons. You get J. Cole in the preseason games. Hopefully there are preseason games next year for the NBA. If you get J. Cole at those games or even at his tryout, it brings attention to the Pistons. It pops a rating and gets different people coming. Like, that's why you do it. Like, other than that, he's not going to make the team. He's 35 years old. Like, that's not old by any standards, but it's not NBA out the gate playing my first NBA game standards. And Cole ain't that nice anyway. Like, if he was that nice, he would have been playing early before then. Like, no, dog. Like, it's dudes in the G League that will bust his ass, no pause, whenever they wanted to, if they needed to. This is just an attention grab. Like, and for the dreamers, because same age as me, let me go try for the XFL right now. Man, I'd be hurt in the first snap. It's not going to work, dude. But we here to talk about it, so let's have fun.
Does he deserve a playoff shot? No. I mean, trial. I'm sorry, not playoff. Trial? No. Will he get one? Yes. Just like Jeff mentioned, just because of who he is and his status. Coming out of high school, he had an academic scholarship at St. John's where, because he's a smart guy. He played in high school. He had a few offers coming out of high school to play basketball. I think he could have played at North Carolina A&T. Which is in his home state, North Carolina, But J. Cole, like you mentioned, he's too old, for his age to not have been playing basketball. That might as well say he's 45 at that point because his body is not used to doing that. I don't care if he's working out now or not. His body, his tendons, it's not used to that rigor of playing NBA basketball against those caliber athletes. He's never played against those kind of athletes because the highest level he played was high school. So he didn't play in college. Not saying he couldn't have, but he's never played against that type of athlete and player in a real basketball setting like an NBA game. So it's just all about the money. People would buy jerseys with his name on it just because of who he is. So he's going to get the tryout, but he is not going to make the team.
I mean, J. Cole is known as in the hip hop community as one of the better celebrity basketball players. Him, Chris Brown, Lil Durk. If you really know your hip hop, he is as far as hoopers. Gucci Mane, yeah, good hooper. But listen, man, he's even played pickup with several high-profile NBA players. But the NBA ain't pickup. He's 35 years old. Can you imagine him trying to, okay, even with the trial, can you imagine trying to stay in front of Derrick Rose? Can you imagine him trying to guard Derrick Rose? Can you imagine him trying to guard Jordan Bone? Man, he would murder him, dude. At 25.
My bad. I mean to cut you off, but they would take it.
No,
They would take it personal that he was out there and would try to kill him.
Be food, barbecue chicken. At 25, yes, makes so much sense. You can try it. Still, away from the game, not that long, 5-6 years maybe away. But 35, dog, that's taking away a spot. Maybe Jordan, Bone is getting a run, or another player on their team, Bruce Brown, somebody. Man, they are going to eat J. Cole for food at 35 years old. 25, it makes more sense. 35, it's a pipe dream for sure, man. Just go play pickup, man. Try to play in the big three.
Yeah.
Try to
get your TBT team, man.
You got to play college ball, play in TBT, though.
Really? I didn't know that.
But, yeah, play somewhere, dog. The big three would make more sense. The NBA, that's a pipe dream, dog. You're going to wake up, you're going to get out there, and, boy, man, Derrick Rose going downhill, snatch his ass back. It's going to be, man.
Or the Achilles game.
Black, we here. That team growing, too.
Or if you're that bored, go rap. Go back and just go rap. Keep rapping.
You can do that. You can do that for sure.
At least P played basketball on a high level in college.
I think that's cap, Jeff. I think that's cap.
He played at Houston. He was recruited to Houston and played at Houston. After 5. No, he did. He was on the team, bro.
Yeah, but he played, Jay.
No, listen, y'all. Listen to me. I think that's cap.
I do. That story has never wavered, Jay. That's the playing after the Phi Sigma Gamma was never. It was always told the same way.
Did we see P?
We didn't see the dude reach for the gun at the high school game. We didn't see that, but we.
Did we see Master P in Houston as a certified walk-on, as a scholarship player, anything? Did we see that?
We saw the scholarship letters on the documentary. They talk about it.
Did they show his LOI?
That's letter of intent for the people who don't know what that means.
Right.
Yeah, Jay. That story was.
They said we ain't never seen him shoot. We never seen him in the uniform.
It sound good,
but even if it didn't, P held his own against the NBA player.
Bro, he wasn't following up Ralph Sampson and King, Clyde and shit. Master P. Maybe goddamn Texas Southern for sure.
Don't do him any kind of way.
Rambling for sure. Bro, that was the biggest school in the world at the time.
They didn't even win anything. That team didn't win anything.
Everybody wanted to go to Houston or they wanted to go to UNLV at the time.
But UNLV won, though. Phi Sigma Gamma didn't win anything. They lost in the first round of the tournament.
Or they had Phi Sigma Master P, bro. Look at you know what? Let's start with halftime, man.
We're at the midway point. Enjoy all of the halftime festivities.
Halftime. In case you missed it, it appears the unanimous one, the great Stephen Curry, will soon have his own Under Armour brand. Curry will have his own brand under the umbrella of Under Armour. Just like how Michael Jordan has his Jordan brand at Nike. His brand will have its own logo, and Under Armour will no longer appear on Curry's shoes. Curry's new Curry 8 Flow will reportedly drop sometime this fall. Is there anybody in the NBA that can have their own brand with a signature shoe?
No, but they desperate. They better give him his own brand.
They just try to stay afloat at Under Armour.
Yeah, keeping the lights on.
Keeping the lights on. Did y'all see the Joel Embiid's?
Oh, those are trash, dude. They look like imitation Paul George shoes. Like, what was that?
Real, they look like fake Kyrie's for sure. They look like XJ900 Kyrie's, dog.
Jefferson Street.
The only person
James Harden with the right though.
LeBron. That's the only person that could do it. He could lose the Nike check and keep that.
Yeah.
LB, whatever, however he want to do it, the king
logo.
The
lion with the crown on it, yeah.
The only one that could do it.
So you don't think KD could do it?
Not yet.
Nah, he's not likable, dog. He's not likable. Tell you can't do it. Tell you can't do it. And damn Dame Lillard, he can't do it. Dame Lillard can't do it.
Why you gotta find a way to bring my boy into the hate, man?
Don't even go into it, coach.
I don't think anybody under the Adidas umbrella has the star power. I think Luka could do it eventually.
Oh, shit. Come on, let's
maybe
go.
Trae Young.
Let's get out of here, man.
I said Trae Young. He Adidas.
Trae Young definitely not gonna be able to do it. Not no time soon.
The bearded one can do it. James Harden.
His shoes don't be nothing.
He right-handed, dog, on his shirts now. Hey,
dude, my shirt, he was not right-handed, dog. He was fucking left-handed.
Hey, Jeff, they saying the Hawks trying to get Melo. Ball, that is. Hey, man, you don't want that.
It makes sense. That'd be a Jeff backcourt right there. That would be hard to deal with. It's an all Jeff backcourt right there.
I don't want to do this second half. You guys ready to do it?
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
The second half is underway.
Second half, episode 329. We are talking about the NBA edition of Players we were wrong about, for sure. I am J.O.
It's your boy, Big Jeff.
And I'm Weezy. And I really don't want to do this show.
It's your man, Coach Locke. I know Weezy don't want to do this show.
Nah, he don't, for sure. Nah, he has some big misses, but I think we all have. Being a great player in college basketball doesn't necessarily always mean that you'll be a great player on the next level. The NBA is the next level. Spoiler alert, not all 5-star recruits were meant to be stars. Whether it was due to injury, lack of playing time, poor fit with the team, or just plain stupid life decisions, these 5-star recruits, usually 5-star recruits, I'm sure we're not going to talk about anybody that's not a 5-star recruit, from these past couple of years, really failed up to live to the hype. So what we are here to do is hold ourselves accountable, man. Really accountable, as we unveil 5 players that we were 100% wrong about leaving college, heading into the NBA. Here's the thing. All right, fellas, here we go. What I can say is that none of my players.
This is where he bends the rules of the show a little bit.
You already purposing this shit.
Yeah, he bends the rules. So listen very carefully right here, listeners. Here we go. Go ahead, Jay.
Hell no. Let's just get to the list. Who is your number 1, Jay?
All right, fuck it. Let's go. My number. No particular order. No particular order. Just going with our 5. My first person I'll talk about is Kyle Anderson. He's a 5-star recruit coming out of UCLA. He's my guy. 6'9", nicknamed Slow-Mo. If Kyle Anderson played in the NBA in the year 1998, he would be a 10-year NBA vet. But the game changed on him, man. He can't shoot. He is slow. Sneaky defender, though. Sneaky defender. But in turn, his game never really he's sneaky defender, Jeff, because he's 6'9". So in turn, he's faster than a normal 4, but he just can't move, man. His lack of athleticism is really, really hampered him. Play for the Spurs. I assume that Pop will find a way to have him at the top of his level. Like I assumed DeJounte Murray was going to be too. It still hasn't turned over for DeJounte as well. So first person, man, Kyle Anderson, man. I just knew Kyle Anderson was going to be the next Lamar Odom. Not even bullshit. I know.
Yeah. You was very high on that kid. I remember.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We were all high on our kids we're going to talk about. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about Thomas Robinson out of Kansas, 6'10" power forward. Kansas, he was Big 12 Player of the Year. He led them to a national championship game in 2012, consensus All-American. He was just a crazy athletic kid that could defend. He could rebound. Hell, he had 22 double-doubles in his last year that he was at Kansas. He was getting those Blake Griffin comparisons, but could shoot a little better than Blake at the time. But it just didn't quite turn over in the NBA. You know, he got drafted number 5 by Sacramento. They had just drafted DeMarcus Cousins a couple years before, and they were supposed to be the tandem. But as we know, the league changed, like you said. Wasn't no bigs. The bigs became extinct. If you were not a big that could step out or handle the ball or shoot the long ball, didn't nobody want you. So he ended up with a career scoring average of 4.9, even had to play in the G League one year. But what makes it even worse is these are some of the players that were drafted after him. Damian Lillard, Harrison Barnes, Andre Drummond, Miles Plumlee. All those people drafted after him. Miles Plumlee plays the same position he does. And
Draymond too.
Draymond, you're right. Exactly. So my boy didn't do it for me, man. He just didn't quite work out for him. But Thomas Robinson out of Kansas for sure.
He started 11 games, y'all, in his career. 11. I love Thomas Robinson, dog. In 265 career games, you only started 11. That hurt me. Tom was one of my guys. I might have gassed you on Tom, Rob, Coach. You might have to I might get the credit for that, boy.
Your list is extended, Jay. Extended.
Shut up, Weezy. Go ahead. Kick your shit off then.
All right. I'm going to kick mine off. One of my people was, he's a McDonald's All-American out of Texas, Michael Bongo. Yeah, Michael Bongo, I thought he was Kyrie before Kyrie Irving. He had big boy handles. I called Jay. I said, Jay, I don't even know how to say this dude's name, but he's cold. And this dude ended up transferring from Texas, playing elsewhere. That's the last time I seen him play was on TBT. That was Michael Bongo. I don't think he even got drafted. And that was my number 1 player. This is a rough list. I really don't want to do this, y'all.
Yeah, Weezy, I remember you talking about him. Yeah.
Michael Bongo.
We're gonna get mine out of the way. We're going because I know we're gonna talk about it. Dion Waiters is gonna start with the big gun. Dion Waiters. We go ahead and get it started. Dion Waiters.
Not Billy Cheese. Not Billy Cheese.
Just go ahead and get it. So, Weezy, sometimes you just gotta go ahead and just get it out the way because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Dion Waiters was my guy coming out of Syracuse. I thought I like my guards a certain kind of way, Coach. I like my guards a certain kind of way. A lot of volume, puts up shots, not afraid to take a shot. I like my guards that way. That was Dion Waiters. But it did did the rookie game, him and Tim Hardaway Jr. put on a show in the rookie game. So I'm sold at this point. And then he went to Cleveland and I don't want to talk about it. But it's going to get better for Dion. Dion's going to sneak up and win a championship on a team that he has no business being on, and it'll probably be this year, and he's going to be able to say he's an NBA champion.
That's about it.
All All right, Jay, you got number 2.
Now we're doing snake. Snake. I went first last time. You right.
All right, this one I'm gonna go a little further back on this one, but this was my guy in college. So it hurt me that his pro career did not fan out well in Vancouver and Memphis. Stromile Swift. He was fun to watch. Stromile Swift was fun to watch in college. He always had the highlights. He was unstoppable in the paint. I don't know what happened from the transition to the NBA, but it just didn't pick up. The game didn't translate. It wasn't as fun for Stromile anymore. He wasted away after about 5 or 6 years, if that. I don't know where he is right now. I tried to look him up. I couldn't find him on any social media for research. I hope he's on at least Instagram or something, because Stromile was fun to watch at LSU. I don't know what happened when he got to the Grizzlies, though. My goodness. Hate this list, man. Hate it.
All right, number 2 for me. I'm gonna be like Jeff. I'm gonna kick it out there. It's one of my Vanderbilt boys. Hell, all 5 of this people can be my Vanderbilt guy. It's one of my Vanderbilt boys right here. Wade Baldwin, man. Wade Baldwin. Oh man, you couldn't tell me nothing about Wade Baldwin. I think he was a 4-star recruit coming in, and he was co-freshman of the year that year. He got co-freshman of the year at Vanderbilt. That don't happen at Vanderbilt. So I was sold. I was sold on Wade Baldwin, and he was drafted lottery. The last pick was 15 at lottery, and now he's overseas somewhere playing in Czechoslovakia or somewhere. Not even on a low tier team overseas. Wade Baldwin, big guard, man, dunk on you, rangy, and it just didn't pan out. I don't know what happened, but yeah, he had me fooled.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my next guy didn't really, wasn't really major coming out of high school, but his senior year, man, he just took over college basketball, and I thought he was going to be Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Jimmy Fredette out of BYU. Coming out of college, he averaged 29. He led the NCAA in points, was a consensus All-American. He had the Steph range in college, Every night it was a different Jimmer highlight from his crazy scoring where he was just putting up buckets all kinds of ways, getting to the basket, shooting over everybody. I just knew it was going to translate. So, and the Milwaukee Bucks thought it was too, clearly, because they drafted him number 10, but traded him to the Kings. Well, his lack of height didn't help him in the NBA. Couldn't get his shot off. He definitely couldn't guard nobody on the other end, so that hurt him, they wasn't drafting him to play defense. Nobody knew that. He bounced around, played at Chicago and New Orleans Pelicans. They thought he would help AD by spreading the floor, and he only shot 18% from the 3. So that got him out of the league real quick. Wound up going to China. He's big in China like Steph was. So he's going to live over there and finish it out over there. But guess who got drafted after him? Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, just to name a few. So, yeah, I really missed on the Jimmer.
You sure did.
Sure did. I thought Jimmy Fredette was going to be the next J.J. Redick. I thought he was going to be a lifelong, serviceable shooter. And, he's a China player now. He's killing over there. Came to the league, had a cup of coffee in the league a couple of years back, maybe 2 years ago. Never really still. Just didn't work. Shout out to Jimmy. My next person. I'm going to go ahead and do one of my North Carolina guys, man. This one hurt, though. This is my favorite point guard in North Carolina history. To this day is my guy. Kendall Marshall. I thought Kendall Marshall was going to translate to the NBA. He was the best point guard in college that year, got drafted in the lottery, on a team with Harrison Barnes, John Henson, who else is on there? Reggie Bullock, all NBA league guys. And each one of those guys played longer than Kendall Marshall. If Kendall Marshall, again, played in the 1990s, he would be a perennial all-star. Like, I'm telling you, he can't shoot, but he led the league. He was second in assists in the NBA. Tore his ACL, never really was the same. Now he's a assistant coach back in North Carolina. Pass first point guard, one of the best pass first point guards of our generation. It just didn't work in the NBA, man. Also, the former boyfriend of Taylor Rooks from Bleacher Report.
The game got too fast for him.
Oh, 100%. Oh, that's it. Dude, do you know how good if Kendall Marshall does not break his wrist, we win another national championship that year with Harrison Barnes and John Henson. We would have won that whole thing if he didn't break his wrist, man.
I don't think he would have been as bad in the NBA if he don't had an injury either. He might have not been an all-star or perennial, but he would have stuck in the league and been a serviceable point guard because you can use a Kendall Marshall as a backup point guard.
No, for sure. He get in there, mix up. One of the best passer I've ever seen, dog. He just was a great passer, dog. Oh, just a great basketball player.
So I think
Snake, right? I'm back again, huh?
Oh, we go, yeah. Okay.
Jay, you went twice? Yeah, you went Stroman. You went Stroman, so you're right.
Yeah, Snake. All right. Let me get mine out of the way.
Moment of silence.
This one hurt.
Yeah. There's going to be music to my ears, though, but go ahead.
Oh, Venton J. Anthony Mayo, man. He's a bust. OJ Mayo was the biggest recruit after LeBron James. Dude, he averaged 28 in the 7th grade, dog. In high school. He was on a high school team in the 7th grade and averaged 28. What? You could not tell me that OJ Mayo wasn't going to be the next. I assumed that he was going to be the next guy. Man. Skill set was crazy. Could shoot, could defend, was a little bound. His last high school game, he threw the ball in the stands, won a national high school. I thought he could play in the NBA at 17 years old. Goes to USC, averaged 22, all Pac-10. Goes to the NBA, averaged 19 his first 2 years. I don't know what the hell happened, dog. I'm just going to be real. I don't know what happened after that. I don't know what happened in Memphis. I don't know if he got hanging around Gotti or maybe Zach Randolph through. I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened to this kid, but he is no longer playing in the NBA. Hadn't played in the last 2 years. He's over in China, averaging 30. OJ Mayo, that hurt, man. It was a point, and I say this all the time. They were looking at James Harden his first year in Houston, and it was OJ Mayo in Memphis, and they were like, it's close. It's close. And it was people, and I was saying, hey, OJ Mayo is better than him. Harden is a superstar now, and OJ Mayo got kicked out of the league.
That didn't age.
That one hurt. That hurt.
I think he got content. I think he got lazy. I think that's all that happened.
It was some damn NBA socks he wore in the NCAA tournament. That's what it was. He wore the NBA socks in the first round of the NCAA tournament. That's what did it.
Cooking in them socks. Couldn't nobody guard OJ Mayo.
Clearly.
Well, I got another one of my guys out of Louisville. A wing. 6'6" shooting guard / small forward. Terrence Williams. I thought Terrence Williams coming out of Louisville was going to be the next wing slasher. I thought it was the way the league ran, the open, the running gun. I thought it just fit him perfectly. He was all Big East, first or second team, 3 years. 2009 Wooden Finals. Third team All-American, led his team to the regional finals and NCAA tournament. He was just athletic. He could defend. He could rebound. He was just good at a lot of things. So the Knicks drafted him, number 11 in 2009. Didn't work out, man. because the one thing you have to do in the NBA, you have to be great at something. And he's not great at anything. He was just good. I thought he was going to be, be able to figure it out, work on his shot in the league and be able to expand that, and he didn't do it. Career average is 7 points. Only played 4 years in the league. Just didn't happen for him, man. And I definitely missed on him, especially when you have players like Drew Holiday, Jeff Teague, Darren Collison, Taj Gibson all get drafted after him. So, yeah, Terrence Williams out of Louisville. Work out.
I guess it's on me again, right? I'm gonna go for a 2-for-1 on this one, man. 2-for-1. All right, this one right here. Golly, I hate doing this. These are not my Vanderbilt boys, but they played against my Vanderbilt boys. This one because I really watched SEC basketball real tough because there's Vanderbilt in it. This is back in the day too. Yeah, I hate doing this. One of them played for Tennessee, and Chris Lofton, and one of them played for Florida, which I was high on this dude, and Nick Calathius. I was high on Nick Calathius, and Nick Calathius, I don't know where he's at right now. I have no clue. I didn't even want to research it because it was so bad of a miss. I don't know where he's at right now.
He's playing in Greece. He lost his hair, and he's like, I'm leaving the country. He never came back.
And Nick Calathius was an All-American at Florida. I think he's like maybe top 10 on all-time Florida scoring list. Nick Calathius was cold. And I saw him come down and kill my Vanderbilt boys. I said, yeah, I called Jay. He cold. And he's not. He's not cold. He's not cold. And Chris Lofton was a killer. He came back from testicular cancer, still killing. He played the whole season. Nobody even know he had cancer. He's a killer too, and I think the game got a little bit too fast for him too, man. So, woo. Are we done yet?
All right. Get these two out the way. So LeBron recruited this guy to Miami, made the trade happen for him on draft night. He had a great college run. I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm not sure why, because the writing was on the wall. Shabazz Napier. I don't know why I thought Shabazz Napier was going to be an all-star level point guard. I really did. I have no clue why I thought that. I'm pretty sure Shabazz Napier is still getting a check right now on somebody's bench, as he should be. I thought Shabazz Napier was going to be an all-star level player. I drank the Kool-Aid, and I was so wrong. So wrong. Still one of my favorite players to watch in college. Still somebody, if he popped up on my screen right now, I get the warm and fuzzies. Like, man, Shabazz Napier, man. I'm going ahead and watch him play. But that didn't end up how I wanted to. All right. This next one, he had a 13-year career, so I can't really say he was a bust or I was wrong. But coming into the league, I thought this guy probably should have been at least a 10-time All-Star, maybe even borderline Hall of Famer. Out of St. Louis, Larry Hughes. Injuries got him. Injuries hurt his career. But Larry Hughes, it don't matter what video game it was, he was on my team. He was with AI when he first got into the league in Philly. Larry Hughes I don't understand. Like, he's one of the ones I don't get how it didn't work out. Like, I just don't get it. He had it all, Weezy had it all. He had the size. He could play the 2 or the 3. He had the post game. He had the shot. We didn't have a tray ball or nothing like that, but he was effort on defense. Larry Hughes was my guy. Why are we doing this show, man? Why are we doing this show?
He had a few solid years too, though. For real, yeah.
He had solid years, Coach. If you would have asked me when he came into the league, Larry Hughes was going to be a 10-time All-Star, borderline Hall of Fame. Serious. Not going to lie.
Now, he was first team all defense, led the league in steals with the Wizards. He had some really good years with the Wizards, for sure.
All right, this one right here was another player out of Texas. I wasn't really too high on him in Texas, but he got drafted to my Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron played. and I jumped on the bandwagon. And I never seen him again. After he had a 3-point play, I called Jay. Yeah, nigga, we got us one. Boobie Gibson. Boobie Gibson had a 3-point play. I think that might be the biggest shot of his whole career. They helped us win I think it helped us win a playoff game. And after that, Boobie Gibson disappeared. And like the rest of these picks, I don't know. I jumped on Boobie Gibson real tough. I thought he was going to be like all-star and everything.
They got Boobie $20 million or something like that.
Yeah, Boobie got paid. And Boobie
got him paid, and he got a baby by Keisha Cole.
Still he started dating Keisha Cole's. And then once he started dating Keisha Cole's, he's not in the league anymore. Damn.
All right. So I'm gonna go with another power forward.
Coach, you can go twice since you ain't been twice yet.
Okay. So I'm gonna go 4-5, but it's gonna be my 4th-5th one.
Yeah.
All right. So I got Derek Williams out of Arizona. 6'8" power forward. Man, listen, he played 2 years at Arizona. Career average is 17.8, 7.7 rebounds on 59% shooting. All Pac-12 first team both years. Pac-12 Player of the Year his second year. 2011 Wooden Award finalist. 2011 second team consensus All-American. He was on the NCAA All-Tournament Region team. Led them to the Elite Eight. So Timberwolves, another bad pick by them, drafted him number 2 in 2011. Now, what hurt him, though, he was a tweener, and he never improved his shot. If he would have ever worked on his shot and improved his shot to space the floor, he would have been fine because he was athletic, but he could never go get a bucket on his own, and that's what killed him in the NBA. You got to be able to go get a bucket. If you're the number 2 pick in the draft, you got to be able to get a bucket on your own in some kind of way, whether they throwing it to you on the post and you can get a bucket, or you can get to the rack and get a bucket, but he could never do none of that. He was never strong on defense. He would rebound because he was athletic, but he was never a strong defender. So, he played in the league about 7 years, but he didn't ever turn over, and his last year was 2017 and 18. He's also part of that Jimmy Fredette class that had Kemba Walker drafted after him, Klay Thompson drafted after him, Kawhi, Tobias Harris, and Jimmy Butler. So, the Pac-12 kid out there from the West in Arizona, Derek Williams, he let me down. And bringing up my rear of the list, point guard I just knew was going to come into the league and just continue to do what he did in college. A kid out of Providence named Chris Dunn.
You sure did. Well, you sure did. You sure did. You sure in the hell did.
Look how excited he gets over somebody's miss.
Right. He loves him. He loves when I miss. He loves it. So in Providence, he was a 4-year kid, played, average 16, 6 assists, 48% shooting his senior year, did it the right way. Was 2 Big East all first team in 2014 and 15. Big East Defensive Player of the Year and Big East Player of the Year both of those years. Wooden Award finalist, second team consensus All-American. So Minnesota, once again, I don't know what is Minnesota. Minnesota got all the misses. They drafted him number 5 in 2016. He averaged 3.8 points his rookie year, and then they sent him to Chicago after that. Now, in Chicago, he had a few solid years. He averaged 13 and 6 one year and 11 and 6 the next year, but then he fell down to 7 and 3. Hadn't really worked on his shooting from the 3, man. I don't understand. He has a career average of 31% from the 3. You got to be able to shoot the ball in today's time, man, if you're in the NBA, if you're a guard, and he hasn't really figured it out. So they have basically turned him into a defender, guarding small forwards. It's 6'3". He does a great job of that, but nobody drafts anybody at number 5 to be a defensive stopper. So yeah, Chris Dunn, you let me down, man. You let me down.
Yeah, he did. He played for my Bulls right now. Can't keep him on the damn floor. Sorry. He's sorry. He is sorry. He is trash. Here we go, man. Jeff, I got 2. This one, so I double up on this one?
Yeah, this is 4 and 5. So you let Lock go.
Okay,
I do this 4 and 5. You go 4 and 5.
All right. I'll bring the worst for the last. My next person, man, hey, listen, I thought this kid was going to be the next one. I thought he was going to be the next Kevin Durant. I thought he was going to be the next, I don't know, man. It's Perry Jones, man. Perry Jones III, man. He was a 5-star recruit, number 2 in the entire class, dog. Here's the thing about him. If he leaves after his freshman year at Baylor, he is a lottery pick. But it was a lockout. So in turn, he didn't go. He stayed for his sophomore year at Baylor. That Baylor team was loaded too. Quincy Miller, Deuce Bello, Pierre Jackson. It was a bunch of really good players on that Baylor team. Who would have thought that Quincy Acey, who played with him at Baylor, played more years than Perry Jones, the number 2 player in the entire class, man. Played 3 years with the Thunder. After that, man, it's over, dog. He played in the Big 3. Perry Jones ain't even 30 yet. He played in the Big 3, dog. Oh, my God, man. If Perry Jones 6'10", with a ratchet, with handle, and is out of the league, bro, playing in the Big 3, man. Hurt me. That one hurt me. I missed that one. That hurt. This one hurt the worst. OJ Mayo, then this guy. This one hurt. I don't even really want to get into it. How much it? Sebastian Telfair, man. Me and Jeff boy, man. Sebastian Telfair, dog.
For both of us.
There you go. To this day, I have never seen a point guard in the high school realm, like a high school point guard, as good as Sebastian Telfair. Not even close. Best basketball player at the point guard position I've ever seen. He was on the front of Sports Illustrated with LeBron talking about this, the takeover. He had a Rockefeller chain at 16 years old, Coney Island. He was Jesus Shuttlesworth, dude. Coming straight from the projects. Brothers played in the league, which was supposed to play in the league, did not play in the league. One of the best documentaries in sports history with Through the Fire. He played 12 years, but he never played meaningful basketball in 12 years, dog. Fighting a gun case right now. Sebastian Telfair, him and LeBron standing back-to-back on Sports Illustrated and Slam. You mean to tell me that LeBron James is one of the best basketball players in NBA history, and Sebastian Telfair is fighting a gun charge right now, dog? I want to cut the damn Zoom off.
Go ahead.
Number 5 for me. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, you supposed to do your 5?
Yeah, this is my 5th person. Number 5 for me. Another of my Vanderbilt boys, and this is it. I'm done with this one. Make this short and sweet. Shane Foster. I was high on Shane Foster, man. On that, because this is the year right after Mario Moore left. So I was still watching and still going to games tough. Shane Foster, 6'8" guard. 6'8" shooting guard. 6'6" shooting guard, can shoot the lights out. But he couldn't create his own shot. Then I sit there and watch him singing night play against Jamar Gordon and go 6 for 6 from 3-point line on singing night. I said, yeah, that sold me. He got drafted to the Dallas Mavericks. And I remember calling Jay. I said, I need to get Shane Foster jersey. Jay said, they don't make that jersey. They don't make that jersey. And true enough, I can't find that. You can't find that jersey on eBay right now today. You ain't better find that jersey.
622 Customs got you, big dog.
So, Shane Foster, man. Golly, he let me down. Well, see, this show here, you be too emotionally invested. And so, Shane Foster. Damn.
My fifth one is the same 5 as Jay's. I'll say somebody else just because, but just to say something back to Sebastian, that's got to be one of the biggest wrongs in sports. Like everybody was sold on that. Like was he going to Louisville or was he going pro? That was the only question. Was he going to Louisville or was he going pro? That was the only question. And then he did have a pro career. He did play, but the fact that it wasn't what we thought, that's still tough. To this day, it's still tough. So I'll say another player. Now this was more of a personal, just because I love to watch him play in Memphis, and I just thought he was going to be Ben Wallace. I thought that he was going to be Ben Wallace 2.0. He was going to be a defensive player of the year candidate. He was going to get you rebounds. He was going to be one of those guys you just had to have on your team because that's what he was in Memphis. He couldn't score, but Joey Dorsey.
You knew Joey Dorsey was gonna get to the league. He didn't even have a cup of coffee.
He got a Houston Rockets jersey, and it was on his way at that point.
It was over.
It was over. But as far as personal players, like in college, I love to watch Joe because it was effort every time. He made sure he was always in the right spot. And I said, you know what? At the next level with the right team, they can find somewhere to put him, and he can play. Like he gonna do whatever coach asks him to do. But it just didn't work out for him. So he was one of Mr. Dorsey in Memphis, what they called him. I love to watch the kid play. I wish it would have worked out for him. But my real 5 was Sebastian Telfair because of all things. But Joey Dorsey was definitely honorable mention.
Hey, 100%. It's some players we left out. Part 2. Yeah. It's some part 2. It is a part 2. Because, man, woo, those are the ones.
A few people.
Did you get
who me?
Yeah, he did 2 in a row, remember?
Oh, Sebastian and Perry.
Yeah. Perry Jones III.
Yeah.
Perry Jones hurt me.
He left out K. Felder. Remember K. Felder, the coach?
I wasn't high on K. Felder, dog. I wasn't high on K. Felder.
How do I even know about him, K. Felder, Jay?
Hey,
because he played for the Cavs.
Well, you left out, but we all left a few out.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say it since we're gonna talk about doing a part 2. I'm gonna let you use him on part 2.
No, Coach, tell him who it was, Coach. Say it. Spill the beans.
You gonna do a part 2? Yeah,
we're doing a part 2, man. We're doing a part 2.
We
gotta do the NFL before we do the NBA again. No. There's some more misses in that NFL, dog. Hello.
It in there.
I don't think I got no more misses in the NFL.
You're do this with your questions.
Right. The Twitters with questions throughout the week in Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, man, don't forget to tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Weezy.
Everything paid for, baby.
Coach Locke.
Get a drummer song.
Yeah.
Camera's always on, brother.
The revolution will be podcast. The cameraman, we are out.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Thank you for listening to the Full Sport Press podcast. To catch up on prior episodes, visit the SoundCloud page. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend.